What is guys, Tyler once again, and I'm coming at you guys with another content of Cookie Run Kingdom. And this time around, it is going to be the PVE World Exploration tier list for December 2022. Once again, it probably will be the last PVE World Exploration tier list that we're going to have for the year of 2022. And once a new update comes out, most likely the next tier list is going to appear on early January of 2023. Anyways, guys, just want to let you guys know once again that all of these tier lists, as well as the explanation that I have, majority of them is going to be based on my experience as well as my opinion, as well as all the other videos and guides that I do find online for the Cookie Run Kingdom community. Anyways, guys, let's get right into it. First, we do have a little bit of a different setup, of course, than the arena tier list, because we do have the first to get section, which is going to be the most recommended cookies that I do want you guys to probably have throughout the entire world exploration, if you guys can get these cookies with mileage points or from the gacha early on. So let's start out with the first to get, and that's going to be Wallberry as well as Brute, Eclair, Vampire, of course with the Magic Candy, and without, he's still pretty good both ways. Of course, Magic Candy is going to be a lot better. Captain Caviar, we do have Cotton as well as Cream Unicorn. So these cookies are going to be all consisted of epic cookies, as you guys can see, because they are going to be available inside of the mileage shop. Okay, so you guys can use up to 2,000 mileage points in order to get these cookies through soul stones, and I do recommend them because we do have Wallberry and Brute, the two tanks that are going to be amazing all the way throughout episode 14. And then of course Eclair is one of the best supports that you guys have going on. Not only is he able to do a massive amount of damage, but he is able to allow your cookies to do more damage with a weakness debuff that is unique to him as of right now. And then on top of that, we do have the shield as an added bonus. And then Vampire and Captain Caviar are two cookies that are going to deal a ton of burst damage and allow you guys to deal with bosses a lot easier. And then of course we do have Content and Cream Unicorn are going to be probably one of the best supports and healers that we have going on for the world exploration. Now let's move on to the SS tier, and that is going to be consisted of Dark Cacao. We have Purple Yam with the Magic Candy. DPS, we do have Black Pearl, we have Sherbet. Sherbet is absolutely crazy right now, especially against single bosses. And we do have Sea Fairy, we have Espresso with the Magic Candy, we have Squid Ink with the Magic Candy, we have Sorbet, Clotted Cream, we still have Pumpkin Pie, Caramel Arrow, Oyster, as well as we have BTS, Pure Vanilla, Pomegranate, we have Parfait, as well as Carol, and those are going to be our SS tier. So a lot of these cookies are going to be used inside of the world exploration by many players. Of course, they can be switched out situationally, especially with someone like we have Black Pearl, we have Sherbet, as well as Espresso. Some of these cookies, as well as Clotted Cream, some of these cookies are going to take a lot of damage, especially inside of episode 14 against some of the enemies that are going to do some damage reflection, like the shield. Because of the fact that these cookies are not invulnerable during their skill usage and they do multiple ticks of damage, the amount of damage reflection that these cookies are going to receive back in episode 14 is going to be a lot. So that's the reason why we use someone like Eclair as well as Sea Fairy and someone like Vampire in order to deal damage, or we just straight up use tanks like Dark Cacao, Wallberry, and Brute in order to just do the damage with their skills. Alright, so like I said, those are going to be more situational times. However, in majority of the cases, these cookies are going to be absolutely amazing for you guys to use, especially Sherbet right now, because of the fact that you do have the Frost Diva, which is going to decrease the attack speed of the enemies, and that is going to be amazing for bosses, especially single bosses like the Dragon in 12-30, 11-30, as well as 13-30, 14-30, and even in 10-31. All of those bosses are going to be single unit, and they're going to just take 15 shards, allowing you to stack up every single time you use the skill. So if you guys are having trouble with those bosses, make sure to use Sherbet. And pretty much everybody else, like the support's amazing. I would say BTS is more towards the episode 14 as well as 13. But if you guys want to use them for the earlier stages as well, I do recommend that you guys have higher cooldown on their toppings, because that is going to be the way for them to do more healing. All right, they do have a long cooldown of 19 seconds, so keep that in mind when you guys are using them. And the rest of them, they're very good as of right now. Moving on to the S tier are going to be, we have Financier as well as Dark Choco, Werewolf with the Magic Candy, Crunchy Chip, we have Rye, and we also have macaron and herb. All right, so these cookies are going to be very good, but are going to get outshined a little bit by some of the SS as well as the first to get. Financier, a very supportive as well as a defensive tank. But for the world exploration, it is better to have an offensive, sturdy front line, someone like Wildberry, Brute, Purple Yam, as well as Dark Cacao. So that's the reason why Financier is more of the S tier. We have Dark Choco, still a very good tank in order to deal with bosses, but he is kind of losing his grip onto that S tier, especially with the release of someone like Sherbet right now, someone like Captain Caviar. We have Vampire with the Magic Candy. We still have Sorbet, and we just have a lot of different cookies right now being able to deal that defense reduction. All right, and then Werewolf, Crunchy Chip, very good tanks as well. Rye, super good DPS, but it's still gonna be outshined a little bit by a lot of the DPS that's up top because she needs to focus on one particular enemy. Macaron, a good supportive magic, being able to heal as well as increase attack and crit, but it's just better to have someone like Pomegranate, Parfait, Carol in order to heal as well on top of that. And just the buff is a bit better than having a split mix of attack and crit. And then the last one is going to be herb, because of the fact that herb does have a a boundary that is limited, and it's just not as good as some of the cookies that we have up top. All right, now moving on to the A tier are going to be, we have Strawberry Crepe, Cocoa, we have Hollowberry, Milk, Kumio, Frost Queen, we have Black Raisin, Latte, Cherry Blossom, Licorice, Mango, Twizzly Gummy, Tiger Lily, Affogato, Sparkling, as well as Cream Puff. So pretty much all of these cookies have been in the A tier for a while now. The only thing I do want to let you guys know about is Frost Queen. Frost Queen has received a slight buff inside of the World of Exploration, able to deal 70% of the freeze damage to enemies that are immune to her freeze. Yes, that allows you to deal some damage to the bosses as well as enemies inside of episode 13 and 14. However, it's still not significant enough for her to be used instead of someone like Sea Fairy, Espresso, Squidding, Clotted Cream, Caramel Arrow, and etc. Alright, so pretty much I'm still gonna keep her in the A tier, but do keep in mind that she is a little bit better than she was before the buff. Alright, moving on to the B tier now are going to be T-Night, Red Velvet, Moon Rabbit, Madeline, Mala Sauce, as well as Poison Mushroom. We do have Almond, Mint Choco, as well as Candy Diver. So these cookies are still good, they can be used, but of course are going to be recommended to stay away from if you guys have the above cookies. All right, and then moving on to the C tier now are going to be Raspberry, Pastry, as well as Snow Sugar. Yes, Snow Sugar did receive a buff, but you guys know how insignificant that was to the actual damage output and things like that. So pretty much stay away from Snow Sugar if possible. Raspberry and Pastry, kind of like the same thing. And then last one is going to be the don't use section, and that's going to be Chili, Lilac, Fig, Sonic, as well as Tail. So that's pretty much going to wrap up for the PvE tier list. Not much has changed, of course, as you guys can see, except a little bit of adjustments and things like that. And then of course the addition of Carol as well as Sherbet. I believe that they're still really good, especially Sherbet, for the world exploration when you guys are able to use him. Of course, I do recommend you guys to get some of the first to get cookies first, because they are going to help you guys a lot inside of the world exploration for a lot of the newer players, because they are epics. Anyways, guys, I hope you guys found the video helpful. Keep in mind once again that this is going to be based on my opinion as well as my experience, and based off a lot of the guides and tips video that we still have on YouTube from other creators within the Cookie Run Kingdom community. And of course, if you guys have anything that you guys want to ask or add on to, make sure to leave it down in the comments below. Anyways, guys, once again, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys all on the next one.